And welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. Tonight, Instagram, welcome, Facebook, YouTube fans. We have a special guest today, a co-host of mine, somebody that I'm on a committee, and we do charity work together. Joy Fuhr. Joy, say hello.
Hi, everybody. Just wanted to let you guys know that I'm involved in many different...
Oh, God, she's talking already. Stop talking. We're going to introduce you in a minute. We're going to ask you what you do. Right now, just say hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
That's it, Joy. Thank you so much for joining the show. We're going to talk about a lot of things during the show. We're going to talk about Joy. She has a book, and me and her together we're on a special charity. We have a charity for cancer people that come to a special Serenity Garden that you're going to hear, and she's making a special event, a gala event. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Am I going to be able to speak?
Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. And we have so many different things that we're doing, and I just want you to know that I had a wonderful weekend. I'm going to tell you all about it, where I spoke and all the little arguments, and I was told by some of the people, please not to bring up our names. I'm not going to say the names of the players, but I'm going to talk about what happened. As you know, this show, basically, I know you're going to want to ask questions, you two people and all you guys, about Trump. We all know what happened with Trump. And I want you to know something when we discuss it on the show, and on the radio, that it was the Sabbath. I didn't know what happened to Trump. And then all of a sudden, gossip flew around the whole Jewish community because I guess the non-Jewish people were telling all the Jewish people where I was in Tenafly, New Jersey, oh my God, Trump is dead. Trump was killed. And I said, it can't be. It just can't be. God can't take Trump now. Not when we're so close. Not when everything is working. My heart sank. I said, oh God, then I'm next. I don't know. I tell you, my heart sank when this happened. So we're going to talk about Trump. We're going to talk about this idiot who tried to kill him. We're going to talk about the Secret Service. We're going to talk about a lot of different things during this show. And Joy, you do know that Donald Trump was shot, right?
Absolutely.
When did you find out about it?
Almost a few hours later.
After this happened?
Correct.
Wow. You see how and what did you feel?
I was thankful that he's still here. And it's a miracle he's alive.
You are a Republican.
I am a Republican, and
you're going to vote for Trump?
Absolutely.
And you're going to vote for me?
Absolutely.
Excellent. I like you, Joe. You can come back to the show anytime you want. There's a whole bunch of things that everybody has to know about New York City. We had a councilwoman recently arrested. Again, like this stupid assemblyman who gets involved after the situation is over so they can get credit. And I'm going to show you the difference between me and them. I'm going to show you how I was able to shut down a homeless shelter and make a deal when these two people did not care about their community. Assemblyman Lester Chang and this Susan, I forgot her name, Susan, Councilwoman Susan something, I'm going to find her name in a minute, that she just shows up and she goes to an event that's impossible to do anything about, and she goes and bites a cop. Of course you're going to be arrested. And I bet you they let her go for inciting a riot while she bit a cop, and me, they tried to put me in jail for a year. So again, welcome to the show, WSNR Radio Live. Thank you coming to join our show, WNEW FM HD3 and WPVID in Florida. Welcome to the show. We have our whole show together, and I want you to know the first thing I'm going to start with this show tonight is Donald J. Trump, Mr. President. We thank God. We know that it was an act of God that you're alive. There's no other way that you would have gotten. You were saved. You know, Abraham Lincoln. They all went after in 1865. They knocked him. The Democrats. They're saying all these crazy theories about him, and the Democrats and all the papers and reporters did the same thing about Trump. They assassinated Lincoln, but they didn't assassinate Trump because they were just lucky. It was just pure luck. And you know what? The Secret Service, yes, they did a bad job. I think something was up over here. I think that, I was listening to a report, Joy, that one of the snipers said that he was told not to shoot. That the secret, I mean, I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories that they saw him beforehand. They saw him climbing up. They waved to the cops. The cops didn't do anything. Something is wrong here when there's that many witnesses. But again, everybody has different stories. We're going to start our show, and I'm going to give a shout out to my beautiful granddaughter Mira. Not Mira Nava, Layla Tamar, my grandson Yeshua, my other grandson Benjamin, who just got his birth certificate today, so that's great. So he's official.
Amazing.
And Ahuva, my last granddaughter, and Dimitri, Dimitri Kugel, district leader for the Republican Party, just had a baby boy. Congratulations! I know you didn't want me to say it to you. And Sergeant Peter, we love you, and Ellie. I don't know where you are, but I know you're listening to the show. Anybody you want to shout out to? No. Okay. No. Joy's not married yet, but when she gets married, she'll be shouting out to her husband. I don't shout out to Linda usually, but today I spent the whole day with Linda. She was making me crazy, but I'm going to shout out to you. Hey, Linda, how are you? I'm going to, I usually start my show with a quote and a joke. And nobody laughs at my joke, but I think you're very laughable and giggly, so maybe you'll be the first one, and maybe the people and the producers will push the laugh button today. Anyways, here's my quote, and it's a very serious quote. I value loyalty above all else. I value loyalty above all else. And what does that mean? I'm going to tell you what it means. I was a kid. I was about 14 years old. My father died. And I was given a job in a camp to, help out in the lunchroom. I was help out to fix the games up, prepare the stuff before the campus came and left. You worked outside a lot in the hot. And when I went to work at this camp, after like 3 days, I was ready to quit. And my mother told me, Heshy, don't quit. You gave your word. You got to stay on. And I did what my mother told me. And I struggled through the 8 weeks. It was the most horrible 8 weeks I ever did, with kids breaking games, cleaning up after them, coming in early, unappreciated the whole time. And I was making like $5 an hour, and and it was just like it was terrible. It was a terrible summer, and I was really ready to quit. And after the 8 weeks, my boss, the Rabbi Kugelman, came in to me. He says, Heshy, and he gave me a $200 bonus. Wow. And back then in 1978, $200 was a lot of money. And I looked at him. He said, Heshy, most kids that take this job over the last 20-something years quit after a week or 2 or 3. He says, I can't believe you made it through the whole summer. He says, you are loyal. And he says, and he gave me this quote, value loyalty above all else. And I know that I learned that through my life. And I'm going to tell you a lesson. This is all a lesson. The lesson I'm here today to tell you is I want you to learn that it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short or fat or thin or ugly or handsome like me that Linda says, or black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter what size you are. What it does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.
That's correct.
And through my life, I've tried to make a bigger heart, tried to feel the emotions, feel the pain of others, and most of all, I try to always improve my character. So I'm telling you now, guys, value your loyalty, value your character. This is very serious. I teach that to my children, I teach it to my friends, and I teach it to my workers in my office, and I teach it to my clients. And if you can't be loyal, and you can't have character, and you can't treat somebody with respect, I don't want to deal with you. I want to tell you my joke. Here's a funny joke. My two sons, I don't know if I ever said it once before, but my two sons, one of them was 8 years old, and the other one was 6 years old. And I don't want to say their names, but Avram and Moshe. And they walked into the guy around the corner, Lieb's Pharmacy, a friend of mine, says, Heshy, you won't believe who came in today. I said, who came in? He says, your two sons. I said, what do you mean they came in? He says, your two kids came in one day, and they picked up a box of tampons. I said, tampons? My kids picked up tampons? He says, yes. And they came to me at the counter, and I asked your oldest son, Avram, how old are you? He says, 8 years old. And he says, do you know what these are used for? And my son Avram says, not exactly, but they aren't for me. They're for my brother Moishi. He's 6 years old. We saw on TV that if you use these, you'd be able to swim, play tennis, ride a bike, and do a bunch of other things. You get it? Yeah, that was a funny joke. I want you to laugh. You can figure out the producer is my son, anyways. I want to tell you a real good joke. Okay, I was in a hotel. A very nice hotel, and I was sitting at the breakfast table, and I called over the waiter, and I started to read from the menu. And the waiter said, "What would you like?" I said, "I want one egg undercooked and to be running, and I want the next egg to be overcooked, and I want it to be tough and hard to eat. I also want to grill. I want you to burn my buns, and I want it to be cold when you serve it to me. And I want the butter to come straight out of the freezer, so it should be impossible to spread. And I want a pot of very leaky, weak coffee." And the waiter looks at me. He says, "Mr. Tischler, that's a very complicated order." He said, "It might be difficult to fill." I said, "What are you talking about? Yesterday you did that perfectly." You get it? I was making fun that they actually didn't do good. Hello, can you make the laughter sound? That was a funny commercial. That was a funny thing. Anyways, I want to get to the point here. Okay, first of all, Secret Service now is getting serious with Donald Trump. Why are they getting serious right now with Donald Trump? I'll tell you why. Because we caught them. We caught them. I don't know why Donald still trusts them, but he has no choice. This Secret Service does so much preliminaries checking, and you couldn't check for this stupid little roof. We're going to see anything cool over there. Anyways, I just want you to know something, guys. I love this country. People came over to me over the weekend. You only wear your flag of America. Yes, I only wear the American flag because I'm an American citizen. I love Donald Trump because he's American all the way through. I know that we're going to have a great 4 years when you elect him. And I know the country is divided. President Biden, I just want you to know, after he came out, the White House downplayed the incident in the beginning. And then afterwards, Joe Biden says, oh, he prays and condemns the act. What do you mean? Serious shooting, anything? There's no downplaying. Anybody that ever gets shot, there's no downplaying. Donald Trump moved his head a drop, otherwise his head would have been exploded. It doesn't make sense that you didn't see this shooter. It doesn't make sense people are screaming, a man is climbing and you don't have a gun. You're right, till the police get there, could take a few minutes. But when you have Secret Service, you try to go to a Secret Service. You know, there's a lady called Candace Owens. She's she speaks on video. She has a podcast. She said she was with Donald Trump, and her husband came down the escalator just to come there. And all of a sudden, they pulled out their guns. They said, if you don't stop, I'll shoot you. And he was an invited guest, but he came in through the back.
Wow.
So they're able to see and track and watch and check the perimeter. Over here, they didn't check the perimeter. They were sloppy. Somebody has to be punished for it.
Absolutely.
Somebody has to be punished. Just like the nursing homes during COVID. You are professionals. You've been doing this for years. You get millions of dollars. And all of a sudden, during COVID, you weren't ready? You should have been ready for a pandemic. You should have been ready for sicknesses. I'm going to get you guys. I'm going to punish you. Joy, I'm going to go off the subject a little bit for what the theme of the show is. You and I, you are the chairman of our Serenity Gardens. This garden that you're creating and so on is for cancer patients. Am I correct?
That's correct.
So we're going to have a beautiful garden with paths, and it's called, what's it called? Serenity?
Zahava Serenity Healing Gardens, INC.
And we are going to allow all cancer patients to come there, to be taken care of, to have a day of rest, or anytime they want to come, no charge?
It's going to be $18 for one cancer patient that comes in with a caregiver, and it's going to be open 9 months a year. Basically on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. 50 max capacity and 5 acres of land out in Bergen County, New Jersey.
And this is a day for them to relax, to be taken care of, wheelchairs, treatments, and all of that stuff.
It actually will be a therapeutic botanical gardens that really will make a difference in their lives, a space that will really provide a sense of serenity, healing, hope, and strength for them to survive their cancer.
You don't have to have cancer to come there. You could be a cancer survivor or whatever.
Correct.
But anybody's allowed to come?
It's specifically for cancer patients, could be cancer survivors, and they're able to bring one caregiver or family member with them just because of that they're immune compromised.
No
a lot of people
charge.
that are, so for 2 people it's $18. It's very minimal. But they will be able to use the facilities. There'll be different kind of programs and activities, meditation, there'll be yoga, there'll be 6 therapeutic gardens with trellis, fountains, gazebos, along with also a building connecting into a greenhouse that will also provide support groups
and we're gonna even help
educational
people,
programs.
and we're gonna help people from hospitals come over
Correct.
and bring them over, and it's very nice. And I'm proud to be a member of your board. And we've been doing this already about 2 years already. We've been in the creation mode and almost ready to rock and roll.
We've been in the creation mode. We're approved 501c3. And it's, takes some time, but everything is...
We should be open soon. Now, we have a big gala event. Am I correct? Producer, I think you have a poster. When is this gala event?
So the gala for the actual gardens is going to be on November 17th. We'll keep you posted with more details very soon. And it's very important that,
everybody's invited. Come
Correct.
there. We're going to have food. We're going to have entertainment. We're even going to have me as a speaker, and it won't be long. I'll make it fun, and I'll make it exciting, and I'll make it serious. But this garden is really related to the book you wrote. Am I correct?
It is related to the book that I wrote. I also just want to mention that also, Heshy, that you are going to be you're going to be speaking about community engagement. I just will be giving a little bit of an intro background initially at the gala. And we're actually going to have a cancer survivor who's going to come and speak about how important it is to really have this type of garden and really make a difference in thousands of people's lives, especially this is also in memory of my mother who battled stage 4 breast cancer, bone metastatic disease for around 6 years and passed away recently.
So you wrote a book about this, am I right?
Yes.
And the book is coming out when?
So I have a book actually that I wrote. It's called Anchoring Through Life Challenges. It discusses a little bit about how I was able to navigate during the hardest times while my mother was battling stage 4 breast cancer.
You took care of your mother?
Bone metastatic disease. I took care of my mother for 6 years. And my mother was in 2 different hospitals for approximately 3 months at the end of her life. She needed 7 surgeries and 15 procedures. She was a trooper. She was courageous. She was persistent. She never gave up. She was actually the strongest person that I've ever known. This book also discusses other situations in regard to perseverance amid struggle, including other stories.
But you also aren't you a licensed? What are you?
So I've been a school psychologist actually for 12 years. I've dealt with crisis intervention to help people experiencing different kinds of life challenges.
So this book could guide them to with their mental health issues, because a lot of cancer patients have mental issues. I mean mental health problems, correct?
Yes. So this book really is geared to not only discuss personal challenges for people to identify with things that I've personally gone through and being able to identify to those things, a little bit of Kabbalah, a little bit of Torah, and a little bit of psychology, dealing with crisis intervention and really helping people cope with life.
I can't wait for the book to come out. I'm gonna be excited to read it. I mean, I read a couple of excerpts that you left on my desk, and it was pretty interesting. I really would like to do that. And so basically, you're trying to help people who are the caregivers who go through a lot of issues as well, correct?
Absolutely. This is a book that is not only for cancer patients, it's for caregivers, it's for everyone that's going through different challenges in life. And like I said, it is called Anchoring Through Life's Challenges, discusses a variety of different things in this book. It's really a self-help book, and really my goal is to make a difference in this world, continue to have speaking engagements after this book launch on August 19th, which is actually going to be at Kingsway Jewish Center. It's going to be at 2810 Nostrand Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. There's going to be an opportunity to actually get VIP tickets. Admission is $125.
And you can email justenoughheshy@gmail.com, and we will forward your request or get you the tickets. Or what email do you have available for them?
So I have an email called actually is anchoringbook2024 at gmail.com.
How long is that email?
But instead
That's
of that, let's focus on the website. I actually have an up and coming website. You also will be able to get orders and shipments at a specific point also to order these books if you're not able to make these book launches. And it's on anchoringhigh.com. You're able to basically make reservations either for VIP, for general admission, or you could also have an opportunity for sponsorship opportunities.
You can reach out to the Just Enough Heshy Show, and we'll make sure you get it. By the way, you can call into the show, 646-974-1580. What's that phone number, Joy?
646-974-1580.
You like the way I put the phone number in front of you to read it?
Yes.
I'm very smart. Anyways, I want to get to another subject, Joy. This lady, there's a homeless shelter in Bay Ridge. Now, Lester Chang, our assemblyman, who shouldn't be assemblyman, who didn't want to take a picture with me, because he's an idiot. What he did was these guys have permits. They're already building. It's almost finished. And he shows up at this homeless shelter, makes a protest that nobody really came to many, and there was nothing he could do about it. Now, this new lady who was voted in as councilwoman, Susan Zhuang or Zhu, whatever her name is, she represents one of the Brooklyn districts in Bay Ridge. And she now shows up there and she starts fighting with a police officer and she bites the police officer on the ear. I mean, is she crazy? You think she's not, somehow she's going to get away with, like in Verna Cove. I mean, she walks around with a gun in her, so they get away with it. I never would get away with it. But now let me explain to you the difference between me and those two idiots. There was a homeless shelter on Avenue T in Coney Island. I went over there. I did my research. I saw they got permits to build. I went and tried to stop them. I spoke to the building department. I did my research. I didn't just show up at a protest. I called the owners. I called the people who are developing it. I called the investors. And I called the community people together. And together we made a deal to shut it down, sell the property, and create another project out of it. But it doesn't just happen that you show up at a protest, scream and holler, and think it goes away. You got to use a brain. You got to have a path on how to get this done. That's what I do every day. People come to me in trouble, and I say, listen, you can't solve the problem in one day. And you got to have a path how to go about it. This is my point to you. Our councilmen and assemblymen are a bunch of idiots. You know, there's a guy by the name of Zorhan Mamandani. I don't know what the hell that means. He is some kind of in the assembly, and he's going to be running for mayor. This bad man criticizes Israel. This bad man he's pro-Palestinian. Please tell me, in God's name, that New Yorkers are not going to vote him in. These pro-Palestinians who showed up on a July 4th event, you know that? July 4th, all about America, nothing to do with Israel, came to hurt and break up the July 4th event. And what did we do? No arrests, or maybe one or something, and they let him go. We didn't give them permits, so we allowed them even to protest and stand there. This is what our police are doing. Now, let me tell you what the police are not doing. Migrants, they're up 100% in crime.
Wow.
83% in the 25th east of Harlem. 295%. 40% in the Grand Concourse. 107% in the 73rd Brownsville. 84% in 46th Fordham, 117% in the Bed-Stuy area. So crime is rising with the migrants. New York City is lost. I'd rather still have Mayor Adams than this guy Zorham, whatever the idiot's name is. But the point is there's no control in this city. Your city council is letting it go. We're giving the migrants $9 billion. But I wanted to tell you, you know what Mayor Adams is doing now? We're giving the migrants, and I want you to hear this, you two people. We're giving the migrants $9 billion. Now, for Mayor Adams wants to reinstitute New York City's extra gas benefits for the poor residents. So for New York City residents, American citizens who live here, they have to get a job. Let me read it exactly. They have to get a job or apply for a job or show that they're applying for a job if they want to continue their benefits. Now, somebody explained to me this. Migrants don't have to work. They're getting money. They're getting $5,000 a month on a credit card. But our citizens, to get about a couple of $100 for this thing, have to show their work, have to show they're getting a job. What's the double standard here? I can go right across the board with this stupidity. We have no control. Our budget goes up. Our taxes go up. Our cops are too busy taking care of protesters, not arresting them, and are letting crime go. Do you know, Joy, that we are now going to put metal detectors in the subways?
Wow.
Now, somebody explained this to me. You believe that these guys, they're not going to be really monitored, but these metal detectors are going to be broken after a while, not maintained. You think these criminals don't know how to get around a metal detector that nobody's really watching. Leave the cops in the subways. What this trick is, they're going to take the cops out of the subways, and there's going to be more crime. There'll be more shootings.
That's why we need Trump.
Yeah,
That's it.
Trump is not going to do anything.
Trump
That's
could
why
help.
we need a city council that's going to do better.
That's correct. Someone like you.
I want to talk about a personal issue before we go to commercial. There was a man recently, I'm embarrassed to say, his name is Avraham Chatovisky. His 2 children were left in the car for quite extended period of time in the heat. A 2-year-old and I think an 8-week-old baby.
That's correct, an 8-week.
They were declared dead on the scene from cardiac arrest. It's hot out there. I like the heat, but it's hot out there. If you're going out of the car even for 7 seconds, take the babies out. When I take my grandchildren with me, I have to just go to the corner. Unless I have somebody sitting in the car. I walk out, unbuckle them. It's a whole big thing. I walk with them. I go back and buckle them back in. It's a whole procedure. When I go shopping with them, I park the car. I put them in the wagon. I carry them. I make them stand in front of the car, not to run. I hold their hands. It's a whole procedure. If you are responsible for babies, you're responsible for babies. If you're responsible to make babies, you're responsible to make babies. I'm sorry to say I feel bad. I know they arrested the father. It's terrible, and I wish only the best to the family. I know mistakes happen, and I hope the man doesn't suffer too badly. Plus, he's going to have mental issues as well. We're going to do our commercials right now, and we're going to talk about Green Line Building Solutions, my company. Again, how good, I'm not trying to brag, but this is what I do every day. I passed another inspection. Tomorrow I have another inspection, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be there. I'm watching the inspectors, even though they're doing crazy stuff. We're located at 202 Forster Avenue. Do you know that I'm located at 202 Forster Avenue?
That's correct.
718-871-0382. 718-871-0382. We do violations. And by the way, they came after me for a whole bunch of violations, and me and my son were so good. We just knocked it out of the park. You should have seen me and him as a tag team match. We went after the inspector. We went after service. We went after everything. And me and my son Abraham, boom, wiped out all the violations. Not even one was found guilty. That's what we do.
Amazing.
That's what I fight. Plus, I fight bigger violations. Plus, I get your buildings legal. Plus, I help you get plans and permits and try to take you out of stop work orders. And we teach you how to comply. We teach you the code. We teach you how to build it correctly, and we teach you to have a good life afterwards. 718-871-0382. Now, recently, I went to Tenafly, New Jersey for the weekend. And I went to a very rich place, and I went to see the members there, and I told them I'm running for city council. And then I went to see other people at the jail on Sunday, and I was talking to a bunch of rich people. And I was saying to them, I need money for the campaign. You guys come to New York. You want change. You complain about it. You told me you moved out of New York because New York is a crazy place. So here's somebody that's looking to change the establishment. I want to fight the men. And do you know what these people told me? HeshyTishler.com. Let's put that up for a second. HeshyTishler.com. Okay? My email is justenoughheshy@gmail.com. But my website is HeshyTishler.com. I need $10, $20, $30. We are $38,000 to the goal. That's all we need to get there. And I think we can win it. We got most of our money. So I'm talking to a couple of people. I'm even talking to a few people in jail. And you know what they tell me? You know why people are not going to support you, Heshy? This new incident that happened with the corned beef sandwich. I said, are you crazy? I did nothing wrong. I was talking to like you. I invite people all the time to my house. I tell people for years I want to take them to the deli for corned beef sandwiches. I really mean it. And they're saying they don't want to support me because I'm too loud, I'm too not statesmanlike, and the corned beef sandwich hurt me. Are you really kidding me? President Trump, you indicted. President Trump, you're accused of Russian collusion. President Trump, and he's raising millions of dollars. You need to get somebody in power. You need somebody to make the change. You can make up any excuse you don't want to give me money. You can make up any excuse you don't want to vote for me. But when you lose and they come after you harder, and I'm showing you how they come after you in New York. They come after you by raising your taxes. They stop you on the street and they arrest you. They fine you, okay? They do whatever it is to you. They pull you over. I'm watching cops sitting there. I'm seeing they closed half the streets in Borough Park. Do you know what the ticket people are doing? They're giving tickets. People have to pull over. They get stuck. They can't pull around. There's nowhere to park. They're giving them, and they're telling them, if you don't move your car, I'm giving you a ticket. This is what we're busy with. Instead of having the ticket people move along traffic, wave them along. They're closing down streets without permits. They're not telling the people about it. Oh, Heshy, we have to change all the pipes. No problem. Who asked you to do 20 blocks, shut everything down? I mean, you're talking, now they're working not only in the daytime, now they're working at nighttime.
You know what else they're doing,
and you know, I was talking to one of the people in the union. You know what they told me? Heshy, we just got a $500 million contract, and of course we're gonna try to knock this out quickly. It's a private contract. I didn't get a chance to bid on it. New York City's playing the games. Oh, the producer's telling her to talk. You don't have to talk, Joy. You just have to look pretty and sit next to me.
No, you know what they're also doing all around Brooklyn? Every block now has cameras, giving violations. This is how we're spending our city money.
Instead of the cameras protecting us,
correct,
they're giving violations.
That's correct, from all the crime that's going on.
Yeah.
And this is important.
And this is what New York City has come to, and we have no way and everybody says to me, well, Trump is going to be elected, he'll make changes. No, Trump is on the national level. He's going to take care of us in the army, okay, when all our soldiers are being disrespected. He's going to make sure that he goes after foreign policy like Israel, and he's going to go after the NATO people to give in their share. He's going to make sure our army is strong. He's going to make sure that the taxes are lowered for the national country. He's going to make sure our economy. He's going to make sure that people who come from other countries with their products are gonna compete fairly, because if we send our products there, they're gonna take it and not give us high tariffs, and if they do, he's gonna punish them back. He's gonna allow us to make money. You're gonna see when he gets into business, he's gonna open up the oil pipelines. You're gonna see gas drop. I know you guys all think gas is $3. I paid $4-something this week. I'm costing me $60, $70 to fill up my tank.
It's not only that, also car insurance.
The car insurance. Tolls.
Bridges are crazy.
And with Donald Trump there, I mean, you're talking, I actually went to buy a bottle of milk for $5.98.
Wow.
A bottle of milk. You know what I mean? And I don't even want to talk about
First it was the eggs.
Oh, and I love eggs.
The milk.
I love eggs. Do you know what it is to buy? It used to be buying a sandwich in the morning, $3-4. Today, to buy a kosher egg sandwich is about $8. I'm sorry, $8.75. So I told the guy, me and Linda were there, can you maybe put in one slice of tomato, a little bit of onion, I swear to God, and a piece of lettuce? He charged me another $1.50. I said, are you crazy? A whole tomato is 20 cents, 30 cents. He says, no, everything is money today.
It's true.
And he says, you know why we like you? He says, because you and Linda both ordered, that's an extra $3. Bidenomics. Biden, Mr. Biden. You know, Mr. Biden was on television the other day, and he was saying to I think it was BET TV, he says, if the doctor tells me there's something wrong with me, I'm ready to back out. We're all telling you there's something wrong with you. Even Adam Schiff, the most hated person on the planet, even he tells you not to run. Everybody's telling you not to run. Yeah, they have other people to replace him. He has to walk away. But you know who's going to walk away? We're going to put Kamala Harris there. Everybody says Kamala Harris has a chance to beat Trump. I doubt it.
I don't think so.
I don't think even a chance. But she has the money. And that's how divided this country is. That the Democratic people are so hateful of Trump that they're willing to vote in an idiot. Willing to vote in an incompetent person. Willing to vote in a president that works 11 to 5 or even 9 to 5. No. You took on a hard job. You know, I work 18 hours a day. Why? Because, you know, with our committee, with Soup Kitchen, with my regular job. Yesterday, me and Linda hung out a whole day. And she came to work with me. We started at 6 o'clock in the morning. We were running around the whole day. I had to go pick up her dress. She has a beautiful pink dress with pink shoes. And I took off a little bit. We went to do the fitting of the dress for the wedding. But don't forget, everybody, September 7th at the Sands. I'm having a problem now. They just raised the price of my fireworks show because I need special permits on a barge. They're giving me a hard time. I'm fighting with them. So I might not have the fireworks show. I guess my son and daughter-in-law will be happy. But I want you to know something. September 7th at the September 5th. I made a mistake. I'm going to keep repeating it. You're all welcome to come. September 5th to the Sands. Come. We're going to have great sushi, great food. We're going to have great singing, and I am going to get on stage. I'm going to give everybody this fireworks thing. At least if I can't have fireworks, you know, the thing you bang and it shoots out confetti. Everybody's going to have one. The whole place is going to be like New Year's Eve.
Which is very exciting.
It's very exciting.
Can't wait.
And I'm going to announce for the very first time Mr. and Mrs. Yaakov and Rayleigh Tischler. I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
By the way, those wedding dresses that they wear one time are fortune. I could buy 4 suits for the price that Linda and each of my daughter-in-laws are buying a separate dress. I can have like enough suits for the next 3 years. God help me. They're killing me. They're killing me, my family.
You know, they have some places you could rent dresses just for the night. So you don't have to
really?
waste a lot of extra money.
No,
I heard about that not long ago.
No. Linda's not going to rent. Linda's not going to rent dresses. I want to ask you a question, guys. I'm going to ask it to all of you. No, they asked me not the amusement park. No, guys, couldn't get the. I know. I wanted the amusement park. I wanted it exciting. I wanted the fireworks show. Couldn't
Let
do
them
it.
know
Plus,
where
I
it
couldn't
is.
fight. I want that amusement park. I don't know. It was my dream to have it there. I guess there's not any dreams. Hey, you know, Linda tells me stop dreaming. You know, I asked her for a raise in allowance. She said stop dreaming. So if Linda always tells me to stop dreaming, you know. But again, we came home last night. We finished our day at 8:30, and all of a sudden I had to go to an emergency special meeting because I'm going to court for somebody who was arrested. So I went out. I had to meet them at a restaurant. I spoke, and then after that, I had to go do our weekend envelopes, and then after that, I had to go to a quick wedding event, and boom, I didn't get home till 11 o'clock at night. Again, this morning, 4:30 in the morning, we're up and running. So life is not easy. You got to keep going. You got to keep knocking yourself out. You never have to stop because I believe loyalty. I'm loyal to my people. I'm loyal to my fans. I'm loyal to my clients. I'm loyal to my neighborhood. And I want you to know something, guys. I don't want to brag about myself, but I want to tell you that I believe I'm the only one that could do the job right. I'm the only one that doesn't mind what color. Everybody says to me, Heshy, you don't like gay people. That's not true. I have no problem with gay people. You can do anything you want in the bedroom of your home. But don't come to me and tell me you're a Jewish religious person because the religion of the Jewish people says you can't be gay. So you're not Jewish or religious. But I don't mind that you're gay, you're gay. I don't want abortion. As a religious Jewish person, I don't believe in abortion. If you're going to do abortion, don't tell me you're a religious Jew. Now, there are issues that things happen. I don't know what to tell you. But as a religious man of the Jewish faith or the Christian faith or the Muslim faith, we don't believe in it. So don't tell us you want to be religious. Hey, you had an abortion, you did it, whatever happened, you can repent. All religions allow you to repent. But I have no problem with gay people. I just don't believe the gay people should be allowed to be married. Go to a lawyer. It's the same thing. My son had to go get his marriage certificate. What did he do? He went down to City Hall. They brought their ID, him and his fiance. They presented it. They filled out the forms, and they were given a marriage license. You can do the same thing. You go to a lawyer. You fill out the forms. There are special things, and you with your assets and how you're going to do things. Boom. You have some kind of a union. But don't tell me you're married. Married is for man and woman only. Bible, history, Constitution, everything. Just imagine in 1776, we went over to the people and said to put into the Constitution, you're right, they put in, you see how smart our forefathers were? It doesn't make a difference, race, creed, or color, even your sexual origin, but marriage does have a problem. I want to tell you about Donald Trump. As you know, Judge Eileen Cannon dismissed the document indictment. Now, you're right, it was a technicality that it was a special counsel, should have been appointed by the president. But you know why the president did it? Because he didn't want to look like that he did it. But you know he sent them after him. Now, Mr. Jack Smith is going to try to appeal the decision. Well, my friends, it is now July. Till he goes and appeals it could take about a month. That's August. Till he gets the appeal to be done in September. Till he brings it to trial, never. So by that time, President Trump will be winning. And I'm hoping that Jack Smith never works and does this ever again. And I hope that Mr. Trump gets rid of him right away when he gets elected. Now, I think the next debate is September 17th. You know, Joe Biden today got COVID.
Oh, boy.
I mean, the man took 5 booster shots. How can you get COVID? 5 booster shots. How do you get COVID, Mr. Biden? So he's ready to play the game and tell us, everybody, look, I'm not well, I'm not feeling well, so I won't be able to do the next debate. He won't be ready for the next debate. He won't be ready for it.
He's not even ready right now.
Right. And by the way, today the Republican National Convention is the last day. And I loved all the speakers. Do you know they even had the union there? The unions are backing Mr. Trump. And his Vice President, J.D. Vance, I'm so proud that Mr. President picked a young guy. We have somebody with wisdom, somebody that runs a business. J.D. Vance knows a business. He knows the young people. The only problem with J.D. Vance is, like President Obama, they were young, they were energetic, and then will they keep to their principles and ideals, or when he gets into office, will he allow all these people to push him around? You and I know that. And people say to me all the time, you watch, Heshy. When you get in, you're going to be the same way like them. Oh, no, babies. Oh, no. No, you have the wrong guy. I promise you. I promise you I'll never change. I mean, of course I change. I bend. I understand. I listen. I learn. But I'm never going to change my ideals. I'm never going to bend to the point where to get reelected, I'm going to have to do these things. That's why I want you to donate to HeshyTishler.com. That's why I want you to join me. I want to talk about a local subject. Pretty much, it just goes over all kinds of lines. Laura Kavanaugh, First Lady Fireman Chief. Number one, she should have never been appointed to the position. I don't care if she came from a fire department family. I don't care if she worked in the fire department. She had no right to be a chief. She told Letitia James that she apologized for not being able to fix the men of their sexist attitudes. Now, guys, we and women, men and women, we all go to work. We all make dirty jokes. Not me, but every time I hear them, like today we had a lunch for the group, there's always a joke or a dirty joke, something. That's not called sexist. You know, she wants to change all sexist firemen. The firemen pushed her. The councilwoman, the head of the, that's my point here. This one lady councilwoman and the head of the fire commission or committee gave Kavanaugh, she says for 2 years Kavanaugh gave her a hard time. And she gave Kavanaugh a hard time. And Kavanaugh finally quit. May Adams said she shouldn't quit. Wow. Gail Brewer said, why should she quit? We gave her a hard time. She wasn't doing her job. She was too busy going after the men and the sexist attitude. instead of making them better, instead of rewarding them for working extra hours, of telling them to do more volunteer work, of giving them love, of showing them how to better themselves and how to give back more to the city, because firemen give a lot to the city. But she didn't do it. She doesn't deserve it. So when I get to be councilman, I'm going to sit on those committees. I'm going after those commissioners. I'm going to start getting rid of them. I'm going to be threatening them. I'm going to give them a hard time. I'm going to show it to you on TV. And you'll see them quit. You'll see them drop like flies, and we put proper people in place. Good people.
That's important.
Yes.
The best of the best.
Yeah. We're gonna go back to the most important part because you all want to hear this. First of all, Mike Pence, the ex-vice president, he's not endorsing Donald Trump. Now, this man is an ungrateful man. He was given the power to be vice president. Okay, so he didn't want to not certify the vote. He could have done it in a better way. He could have said, Mr. President, I don't want to do it. And then afterwards, he went after the president so he can look good because the president lost the election. So he felt by knocking Donald Trump, he has a chance to run for president. You stick with your boss to the bitter end, unless he's crazy completely. But you saw the election was fraud. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say election fraud or election. There's nothing I could do. America has always been a problem with 50% on one side, 50% on the other side. When a president wins the election, he might win by a lot of electoral votes, but pretty much on the popular vote, it's 51, 52, 53%. Every once in a while you'll see, but you never see a major landslide. Okay, I hope there will be, but you know that this country is so divided that the person in charge, should he really be in charge? Because the other side, if he would have had a few more votes like last time, if President Trump only would have had a few more votes, he would have still stayed as president. Whether we cheated, not cheated, how they got the votes.
Listen, anything could happen. My philosophy is if you think good, it will be good. So right. You know what? If we think, be positive, like you mentioned before, then you know what? He could end up winning by a landslide also.
So a former Hillary Clinton spokeswoman, there's a lot of noise coming from the control booth. I don't know why they don't shut off their mics. It's our other producer. He always tries to sabotage the show. He's sabotaging. Can you put a laugh track on? Former Hillary Clinton campaign spokesman says that the Democrats see themselves losing, so that's the fear of losing, so their attitude could be self-fulfilling prophecy. They're being realistic. They're reading the polls. They see people are switching. Mm-hmm. They see Donald Trump for the person who he is. He's not a murderer. He's not a dictator. They're coming after him. They're not protecting him. They're trying to arrest him. They're trying to take away his money. I mean, it's common sense. You're seeing all of this. I mean, I saw a spin on this guy who tried to kill the president. They showed a picture of him wearing a yarmulke saying that he's Jewish. I saw another commentary that he's a Republican. Then they spoke to his parents. I forgot the name of his parents or whatever. He has his parents. They're psychologists. They even contacted the police and said that, oh, here it is. The shooter's parents, Matthew and Mary Crooks, are both licensed professional counselors. And they both received their social licenses in 2002, and they called the police. By the way, when he was in school, they called him, the kid, they called him the school shooter. He didn't have hygiene. You knew this kid had problems. You knew this kid had mental health. How do we allow him to have a gun? Now, I understand the Second Amendment, we have guns. But this kid, I bet you didn't even have the proper license, or didn't go through the proper psychological test. But a guy like me or Donald Trump that had some stupid felon on paperwork, you're going to take away our gun licenses.
You know what? They say that he actually had access to his father's gun. His father had a gun, and that should have been locked up.
It was a rifle. That
it was his father's gun. How did he have access to that?
Thank God. But you know what? In school already, they knew that he would have they called him the school shooter because they thought that he'd be one of those guys that would shoot up the school because they bullied him around. If you know stuff like this when they're a kid, why aren't we doing something like this?
That's correct.
Yeah. By the way, I want to give a shout out to my friend Mr. Benny Kleinberger. I just want you to know, I insulted him, and one day, I didn't really insult him, I was arguing with him. He got upset with me, and I did apologize to him, so I want to apologize on the air. You know, I say things, and sometimes I get a little bit heated, and people try to heat me up like him, so I fight back. That's my point. I fight for you people. I fight for the city. You wait, people say, how come you have all this energy? I don't have a lot of energy. I know my job. When you wake up in the morning, you have to be ready to rock and roll, or don't. Just don't go do your job. When I went to New Jersey this week, so I went to the synagogue, and they're fighting with each other, some of the two sides. And my point is if you don't work together, you're going to fail in the synagogue or split, or you have to be able to accept the other person and try not to be too condescending or be a big shot. Sometimes people try to break the rules or talk down to their fellow parishioners or their congregants. Even the rabbi, sure, you're allowed to teach us, guide us, tell us what we're doing wrong, but don't talk down to us. People don't like that.
That's correct. I agree.
I value my friends. I value my people, I value my city, and I value our country. And I'm going to keep telling you, Mr. President, I know they came after you. I don't know how to apologize to you. I don't know why they're trying to kill you. It's wrong, even though now everybody's saying, oh, we don't have violence, and violence in this country is not acceptable. What are you talking about? That politics doesn't have violence. You shot a congressman a couple of years ago. We have thousands, just alone New York City has 2,400 shootings last year. Let's go across the country. People are shooting and killing and violent. We're beating, we're stabbing. New York City has 10 areas, and like 7 of them are in the Bronx, and we have some in Bedford-Stuyvesant and Brownsville that are so dangerous that if you walk in there, it's the 10 worst areas. Some of them are the 10 worst areas in the country from gang members and drug dealers. You know, they have the fentanyl robbery gang that they trick you and they give you some kind of fentanyl, or they drug you and they rob you. This is New York City. They did it in Jersey and Pennsylvania as well. Wow. Why aren't we going after them? Why aren't we too busy with them? Why are we busy with tickets and pullover and stupidity? I don't know.
This is definitely a problem, even in Brooklyn. And what I'm also seeing lately is vandalism. Cars being broken into, graffiti on stores now. Yeah. We saw this in the heart of COVID, and all of a sudden it's happening again.
It never stopped.
And people are getting assaulted also here and there. You have to watch your back every minute.
To all my listeners at WSNR, we're going to be saying goodbye to you in a moment, and WNEW FM HD3 and WPVID. We're all going to be back next week. By the way, everybody, I'm going to be leaving to Israel on August 15th after my show, which is Thursday. The show is on Wednesday. I'm going to be going to Israel for 4 days for prayers with my son, and to go visit the graves of my parents, and of course to go to the Dead Sea to make my handsome, beautiful self even more handsome. Is that good? So I'm going to be sending you videos, and we're going to laugh together, and I hope you enjoyed, like today's video. I hope some of you saw my introduction video. It was funny. Of course, I posted it. By the way, that ranting and raving of that animal in Jersey that cut up the flag, the Israeli flag, and screamed and hollered at the Jews. Everybody, all the social media has kept it except for TikTok. They said, oh, it's dangerous. It wasn't me, and I was showing the world. Thank you. All my listeners, be back next week. We'll be back on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I don't know if we'll be on live radio. We'll see what happens. But
Heshy, wish you a safe journey and safe travels.
Well, I'm not leaving yet. I'm leaving on August 15th.
Yeah, but still.
So you guys still have a month to suffer with me. Don't worry about it. I always could be available. If you need to reach me, email me at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. You're welcome to call the show's hotline, 646-974-1580. Leave a message. I always call back. You can. There's no reason. I have hundreds of calls. I have hundreds of emails a day. I try to see a lot of them. I have an assistant that helps me with them. And sometimes they're stupid. Yes, I do delete them. What do you want me to do? I mean, some of the questions or the pictures you send me, you should be embarrassed, guys. Come on. I'm 60 years old. Sending me stupid pictures to try to get me in trouble. I delete. I know you're saying, oh, Heshy, come. Don't offer me any marriage proposals because Linda's going to kill me, okay? Somebody was saying today, men over 60 years old become gay. Wow. Are they crazy? By the way, I used to like when I was a kid and I was fat, I used to follow this guy, Richard Simmons. Did you ever see him?
Oh, he's amazing.
He used to jump up and down, and I used to get
the
him.
best.
And I remember I used to jump up and down in my house, and the whole floor used to shake. My mother said, "Stop it!" I said, "Richard Simmons is doing it. I wanted Joe to lose weight." It never worked for me, that exercise thing. Trust me, I don't know what to do about it. But he passed away today at the age of 76 of skin cancer. And guys, I stress to you, this young lady, Joy Fiora, is a wonderful woman. Her book, when she comes out, what's the name of the book?
Anchoring Through Life's Challenges.
Anchoring Through Life's Challenges. You should get the book. When is it coming out?
On August 19th, I'm going to have a book launch event at the Kingsway Jewish Center in Brooklyn.
She's going to have a book launch event at the Kingsway Jewish Center on Kings Highway and Nostrand Avenue. Or you can email to the Just Enough Heshy, and we'll teach you how to buy the book, get the book, or send her a payment, and you get the book. It's going to be a good book. I mean, I read a couple of her experts. It's well written. I know you've been working on it here in the office for many times. You've been coming in. Plus the garden. Guys, if you know somebody, a cancer patient, for $18, bring them to our garden. They're going to have a enjoyable day. They'll be able to get their thoughts off the bad things that are happening to them. We have treatments. We have programs. We have so much for them to forget and to feel. It's just a beautiful 5 acre. It's 5 acres?
It's going to be 5 acres of land, yes.
5 acres of roads and ponds and beautiful smells, right? What's it called?
There's going to be aromatic in the aromatic alcoves in the Japanese garden.
And we're going to have doctors on staff
holistic
over
therapy,
there, wheelchairs.
social workers.
So everything, social workers, you're going to have a great day if you need a place where to go, and it's cheap and it's nice. And even if you don't have the money, I'm sure that we can find a way that I'll try to put some money together on the side. So for people who want to order tickets that don't have money, they can send in a request and we can see if we can get you a ticket from time to time. I want you to know, I want you to have a great weekend. I want you to be safe. I want you to stay cool. I want you to drink a lot of water. Don't leave your babies in the car. I want you all to pray for Donald Trump. I want you all to come out to vote for Donald Trump. And of course, I want you all to come out to vote for me, HeshyTishler.com, you Brooklyn people, and stop worrying about what I do. I don't bribe people. I have a history of 35 years. I mean, that was the best you could do, a corned beef sandwich for some rat Goldberger who has no job, who's a bum, who's just a rat, causing trouble for his neighbor, so he video filmed me to try to get me in trouble. I mean, people do that all the time. They video film me. I have kids from certain schools trying to get me to stay stuff in the middle of the night. They call me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, and I pick up the phone. People say, my wife says to me, so why do you pick up the phone? Because in case there's somebody in trouble, the one person that needs me, it's worth it for me to take all their cursing and threatening and wanting to kill Linda, and they want to come to my house and shoot me. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of the last time they came after me. I'm not scared of them now. Anyways, everybody, thank you for listening to the show. Come again next week. I love you all.